I am Tia of Arcturus. I will speak with you now. We are here now to discuss the removal of the barriers that keep you from fully stepping into the fifth dimensional 5D experience that you seek. Achieving a 5D level of consciousness and creating a 5D reality for yourself is inherently tied to how much of the Creator's energy you allow to flow through you. From our perspective, one of the greatest obstacles on your path is the one you unknowingly create when you block or limit the flow of source energy in your life. We have noticed that many of you who identify as starseeds and awakened beings do not yet live in the truly abundant state that is possible for you. And the reason is quite simple. You are often, and without realizing it, restricting the through flow of the Creator's light. In other words, you have been keeping your experience of God, Source, smaller than it needs to be. And this self-imposed limitation then shows up as lack, struggle, or feeling stuck in the physical realm. Please understand, this is not a criticism or judgment, but rather an observation of what is happening energetically. The good news is that if you are the one who has been creating this barrier, you also have the power to dissolve it. We see your desire to live in joy, freedom, and plenty, and we want you to know that such a life is absolutely attainable once these energetic blockages are addressed. We are here to help you understand why this blocking happens and how you can remove those inner barriers so that you may allow more of your true fifth dimensional Creator self to shine through into your everyday life. Why would any starseed or light worker block the flow of the very source that nourishes them? This is a question many of you have asked yourselves, and it is important to realize that you did not do this intentionally to sabotage yourselves. In fact, from our vantage point, we can see that many of you have simply been following the ideas and practices you were taught. Over the years, various metaphysical teachings and spiritual philosophies have circulated among the awakened collective. While these teachings often contain much truth and wisdom, some have inadvertently led you slightly off course from this core principle of aligning with Creator above all. In practice, you have received a lot of guidance about how to manifest, how to think positively, how to clear karma, and so on, but not all of it emphasized the foundational step of truly opening yourself to the source energy first. None of this was done deliberately to mislead you. There is no grand conspiracy to keep starseeds in lack. Rather, small misunderstandings and overcomplications have crept in. Sometimes, in your pursuit of esoteric knowledge or complex techniques, the simplest and most profound truth was overlooked: that the energy of God Creator is the source of everything you desire, and cultivating your direct connection with that source is the master key that makes all the other teachings actually work. We are not here to blame any teachings or downplay their value. We simply want to refocus you on what truly matters, on the straightforward path that leads to the freedom and abundance you have been seeking. For instance, some teachings may have emphasized techniques for manifestation or strict rules for spiritual behavior that inadvertently made you focus on external outcomes or gave you the impression that desiring material comfort was unspiritual. Others might have encouraged you to suppress your ego or personal needs to such an extent that you ended up closing yourself off to receiving from the universe. These tendencies can cause even a devoted light worker to unknowingly put up barriers to the very support and abundance that Source is offering. The important thing now is not to dwell on what went wrong, but to recognize these subtle detours and gently guide yourself back to the simple truth that your foremost spiritual practice is your direct communion with Source. From that, all other positive changes flow. Now we want to clarify this relationship between connecting to Source and the tangible outcomes in your life. The abundance of things, whether money, opportunities, support, or any form of prosperity, is not the cause of your alignment with Creator. It is the effect. In other words, you don't become more connected to Source because you suddenly have more money or success. Rather, you experience more money and success as a natural result of becoming more connected to Source. Abundance in your outer world is a reflection of the abundance of divine energy that you are allowing to flow within you. Whenever you fully realize and invite more of the Creator's energy into your being, it must then manifest around you in various beautiful ways. Conversely, if you are experiencing a lack in any area of your life, be it financial lack, a lack of love, a lack of health or creativity, that is a clear indicator that somewhere inside you are blocking or pinching off the flow of the Creator's light. This is a universal truth of energy. What flows within you determines what shows up before you. We understand that from the human perspective, it often looks like the outer circumstances are causing your feelings or beliefs, but in fact, it is the other way around. Your inner state of alignment or misalignment with Source is primary, and the external circumstances are the byproduct. If something is missing or scarce in your external experience, it is not because the universe is denying you or because you are being punished or tested. It is because, at some level of consciousness, you have not yet permitted yourself to receive that aspect of Source in full measure. The beauty of this understanding is that by going within and releasing that inner resistance, you change the outer reflection. Think of it like a valve that you can open or close. The Source's love and light are always gushing forth like an infinite river. But if your valve is only partially open, you will experience only a trickle of that nourishment in your life. If you open the valve wide by dropping your resistance and fear, that divine river flows into every part of your life and waters the garden of your experience, causing everything to bloom in abundance. If you want to allow God to work more fully in your experience, you must examine your approach to your relationship with the divine. Ask yourself, are you seeking a connection with Source purely for the bliss and love of that connection? Or are you seeking God only as a means to obtain things for your human self? This is a pivotal distinction. Many of you pray, meditate, or set intentions with the underlying mindset of, I will connect with Source so that I can get this or that outcome. There is no judgment from us in this. It is very natural to desire improvements in your life. However, when your primary focus is on what you lack and you approach Source only to fix a problem or to bring you a material result, you are inadvertently keeping your awareness on the absence and the external conditions. This can actually reinforce the very lack you want to eliminate, because your energy is split. You are not fully allowing the Creator's light in. You are partially blocking it by treating the divine as a tool, rather than as the beloved essence of your very being. We encourage you to practice seeking the connection to Source Creator for its own sake, to cultivate that communion as the first priority, rather than a step in a manifestation technique. When you sit in meditation or prayer, let your intention simply be to commune, to feel the presence of the Creator within and around you. Do this without immediately turning your thoughts to what you want to ask for in the physical world. By doing so, you allow God to work in your experience unhindered. In the sacred space of pure connection, miracles happen effortlessly. Ironically, when you stop approaching God with a shopping list of things you need, and instead approach with an open heart just to experience that love, you find that all the things you once desired start to line up for you with far less effort. That is the power of putting the Creator first. . It is our desire to help you bridge what we perceive as a huge gap in the spiritual community. You have so much wisdom, love, and spiritual insight, and yet so many enlightened or spiritually minded individuals are living in scarcity. From our perspective, this is a significant disparity that does not need to continue. If you were to fully embrace the principle of seeking Source first and allowing that divine energy to flow, the majority of you would experience true abundance in all areas of life. We see an unfortunate pattern where awakened souls, including starseeds, are not thriving financially or physically to the degree they could be. In fact, many of you appear to be living more meekly and modestly than you truly need to, almost as if following an old paradigm that says spiritual people should not enjoy material wealth or excess. It reminds us, in a way, of certain interpretations within the Christian faith that equate holiness with poverty or meekness in the material sense. This is not a criticism of any religion or belief system, but merely an observation of how pervasive that notion has become, even among starseeds who have embraced a more metaphysical path. Somewhere along your journey, many of you subconsciously accepted the idea that to be close to God, you must live with very little, that suffering or doing without is somehow virtuous or required for spiritual purity. We want to dispel this myth once and for all. There is nothing inherently spiritual about living in lack. The Creator has never decreed that enlightenment should equal poverty or struggle. You are not more good or worthy in the eyes of Source because you have less. To the contrary, when you allow yourself to receive the abundant gifts of Source, you are simply allowing God to demonstrate its love and generosity through you. Living an abundant life can be just as spiritual, just as holy, as living a simple life. It all comes down to your state of connection, gratitude, and service. You can be humble, loving, and deeply spiritual while also having all of your needs met and then some. In fact, we would say that when you follow the correct spiritual alignment, putting the Creator first in your heart, a natural byproduct is that you thrive. And in thriving, you are actually more equipped to help others and raise the collective vibration, which is what most of you as starseeds truly desire to do. Let us now emphasize a truth that we want you to really feel in your core. The natural state of your soul is pure abundance. You, as a soul, are a spark of the Creator. This means you contain within you all the attributes of Source, just expressed in your unique way. Source, God, is infinitely abundant, infinitely creative, infinitely loving, infinitely expansive. As an extension of Source, you too are designed to embody and experience that infinite abundance. When we speak of abundance here, we mean abundance of all good things: love, energy, ideas, opportunities, as well as material support. In the higher realms, in the non-physical dimensions from which you came, there is no concept of lack whatsoever. Your true self knows the prosperity of the universe as an ever-present truth. However, upon incarnating on Earth in the physical form, you took on human beliefs and collective conditioning that introduced the idea of scarcity and competition. Part of your journey of awakening is to remember and reclaim the state of being that is completely aligned with Source's abundance. It is to reconnect with that aspect of you that never left the flow of the Creator's energy. The more you can recall that feeling of your soul's natural prosperity, the easier it will be to dissolve those inherited or learned beliefs of lack. You are literally made of the substance of God, love and light, and within that substance is the template for limitless creation. There is nothing noble about depriving yourself of what brings you joy or what you need to flourish. Your soul did not come here to be in a state of deprivation. It came to transform the energy of the physical into the divine through your human experience. Remembering your true identity as a creator being, a child of God if you prefer, is the antidote to the illusion of lack. When you know who you really are, lack simply makes no sense. It falls away as an impossibility in the face of the infinite. This is why we continually advise you to seek communion with the Creator before all else. When you prioritize your alignment and relationship with Source above every other concern, you effectively open the door wide to let more of the Creator's light into your human experience. You are saying, in essence, yes, I welcome God into every aspect of my life. By seeking the kingdom of heaven within you first, everything else truly does get added unto you. In that state of allowing, the source energy flows into your work, your relationships, your health, your finances, into all that you do and all that you are. We want to be very clear that we are speaking of abundance in a holistic sense. This is not just about money or physical goods, but all things that constitute a rich and fulfilling life. Abundance can mean an abundance of love in your friendships and family, an abundance of inspiration and creativity in your projects, an abundance of vitality and well-being in your body, an abundance of time to do what you enjoy, and yes, an abundance of financial resources and opportunities as well. When we talk about living a 5D life or creating heaven on earth, we envision a life where you feel truly supported by the universe in every way. In a fifth-dimensional consciousness, you inherently understand that you are one with Source, and that Source's limitless supply is available through you. There is no sense of fear about not having enough, because you are aligned with the eternal enoughness of God. Thus, by making that communion with Creator your primary aim, you set into motion a chain of events. Your energy lifts, your heart opens, your mind clears, and then the outer world responds by yielding to you all manner of wonderful things and experiences. You effectively become a magnet for blessings, not because you are trying to attract them, but because you are radiating the power of Source, and the world cannot help but mirror that back to you in physical form. We would also like to remind you that you did not come to Earth with the intention of barely getting by. As a soul, you did not sign up for a human life just to struggle, scrape, or survive until it's over. You came here to thrive. You, brave soul, chose to incarnate on this planet at this time specifically because you knew you could bring the light of Source into this physical realm and create something beautiful with it. You came to express Source Creator's light through your unique perspective, to expand creation in a way that only you can. In doing so, in letting that light pour through you into your thoughts, actions, and creations, you experience the joy and abundance that come with being in the flow of your true divine purpose. When you really allow yourself to do what you came here to do, which is to be a vessel of Source energy in the world, you will find that all of your needs are met, often with an excess or bundles left over. You might even be surprised at how life seems to support you when you step into this role of co-creator with the divine. This is because you are aligning with the original plan your soul had, a plan which absolutely included you living in comfort, joy, and plenty. There was never a requirement in your soul's plan that said, I must be poor, sick, or unhappy to serve the light. Quite the opposite. You intended to shine. By thriving, you actually fulfill your mission more effectively than by suffering. When you thrive, you become a living example to others of what is possible. You show those around you that a human can be spiritually awake, heart-centered, and also fully abundant in the material world. This inspires others to connect with their own light and break free of their limiting beliefs. So you see, you were meant to flourish, and in flourishing, you uplift everyone else. That is how you remove barriers to 5D, not just for yourself, but for the collective, by becoming the embodiment of a 5D creator, being in a physical body, showing the way forward. Now, with all of that understanding in mind, it is time for some soul inquiry. At this point, you may be wondering how to pinpoint exactly where you might be blocking your creator light. Self-reflection is a powerful tool on your spiritual path. To determine how much you are truly allowing Source to work in your experience, we suggest that you ask yourself a few honest questions. Find a quiet moment, center yourself, and consider the following. How much more do I add value to others than I take in payment or reward? In what ways am I giving my power away to people, places, or things, instead of standing in my own God-given power? How often do I pause and breathe, inviting the Creator to reveal itself through me? We recommend doing this at least once every hour, especially as you begin. How often do I say or think the words, "I can't"? Each time you declare that something can't be done, or that you can't do it, you immediately shut out the Creator's assistance in that moment. How often do I let go and trust the divine flow versus trying to control every outcome? Take note of your answers without judgment. Your responses will reveal where you are allowing the light of Source to pour through and where you might still be holding it back. This awareness is extremely valuable because once you identify a blockage, you can consciously choose to release it. You can hand over any limiting belief or fear to the divine and replace it with trust and openness. In doing so, you will be actively removing the barriers and letting more of God work through you in every moment. To conclude this transmission, we would like to offer you a simple yet powerful activation. Begin by finding a comfortable position and gently closing your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, allow your body and mind to relax. Now bring your awareness to your heart center, the middle of your chest. Imagine or intend that you are tuning your focus to the pure presence of Source, the God Force that resides within your heart. You might visualize this presence as a tiny spark of light or a warm glowing orb in your chest. If you don't visualize easily, simply feel into that area and acknowledge that the Creator is there within you. Now, with each gentle breath, see or feel that spark of Source light growing and spreading. Feel the warmth and love of it moving outward, radiating through your chest, into your arms and legs, up into your head, and down to your toes. Allow your mind to become still as you devote your full attention to this light and this sensation in your body. You may notice a tingling or a subtle vibration, or you may simply feel an expansive calm. Whatever you experience, know that it is the touch of the Source Creator energy flowing through you. Continue to breathe slowly, and witness this energy. If any thoughts arise, let them float by, returning your focus gently to the feeling of Source moving within you. Now silently invite the Creator to reveal itself even more to you. Think or feel the intention. Dear Source, please show me more of your presence in my body and my life. Then pause and wait in quiet awareness. Rest in the expectancy of a response without forcing anything. Feel for a subtle answer, perhaps a wave of peace, a surge of love, a brighter light in your mind's eye, or a feeling of being lovingly held. Take your time with this. You are communing with Source in this very moment, allowing God's light to circulate through every cell. Finally, take one more deep breath and let it out slowly. Feel gratitude for this connection you have opened. Know that what you have just cultivated is real and will continue to grow each time you practice. In this state, you have removed some of your barriers and invited the fifth dimensional energy of Creator consciousness to flow freely in you. We encourage you to return to this simple focus exercise frequently, as it will reinforce your alignment and help keep those internal doors wide open to Source. And remember, you are not doing this alone. Whenever you choose to connect with Source in this way, know that we and many other beings of light are gathering around you, adding our energy to support and amplify your experience of the divine. You have an entire team in spirit, cheering you on and assisting you as you remove these barriers to love and light. If you are listening to this, beloved one, you needed to. I leave you now. I am Tia of Arcturus.